Chris of e-commerce. Chris back with another Amazon suspension trend. Not necessarily talking about suspensions of listings or accounts today, but a lot of people are losing the buy box, or there are price matching errors on Amazon's side that may get their listing taken down in the near future. We've already started taking cases where we're doing appeals for this. I posted about it recently on LinkedIn. Lots of engagement there because, of course, lots of people are worried about losing the buy box, not having featured offers on Amazon for silly reasons like, oh, Amazon thinks you're selling at different prices on other platforms, but you're not really. They're just comparing the wrong quantities. Sometimes they're looking at the wrong item. Their scraping tools are messing up. Their AI bots are experiencing problems, whatever it might be. Numerous brands are coming to us. I would say it went from weekly to daily last month in terms of, hey, it looks like we're going to lose a lot of sales on our top listing because Amazon thinks we're not charging the same prices across all platforms. And it's an Amazon mistake most of the time. We're working on dispute appeals for people. We see a lot of brands doing, crazy stuff, maybe just opening seller support cases. I think maybe 1 out of 75 times that might work. But we certainly don't recommend wasting time with support teams, calling account health. I mean, some account health reps on calls I've been in on, they have said, yeah, it looks like Amazon's matching the wrong item to the wrong price, or that it's the correct item, but it's the wrong quantity. It's a multi-pack, that's a 6-pack, and they're looking for the 12-pack price. Whatever it might be, Amazon's aware of those mistakes. So if you start sending in appeals from the primary email in your account or escalation emails, it should land somewhere where somebody understands that this is a known problem, because lots of brands have been losing lots of money when these price matching emails and occasional listing takedowns have resulted in the need to remedy the problem with an ASIN appeal, or if Amazon's threatening to take your listing down and you haven't actually started losing money yet, with Prime Day around the corner, you're probably pretty worried about that happening next week or next month, right? Who wants to be losing money or risking, making the most and capitalizing on a peak sales day like Prime Days in June? So definitely, if you're having trouble interpreting these messages, they stopped using the language price parity a while ago. I think there was a lot of criticism, both public and private, of the use of price parity, as if they were trying to enact some sort of pricing controls across all marketplace sellers. A lot of controversy there. It's more a question of using the term price matching and what they mean by that, but the language in the message usually describes it, which is a listing that they're either taking down or threatening to take down, or you're no longer appearing in the buy box because they think you're selling at the wrong price. It's not a price. You have a lower price somewhere else. They want you to match that. Of course, there's been tons of shenanigans with competitors trying to get the other seller knocked off a listing because they try to make it look like they've listed it much more cheaply on Shein or Temu. That's been a controversy as well. The bottom line is these are Amazon mistakes. You have to understand how to react to them quickly so that they don't take your listing down a week or a month, which should really be fixed in maybe 24, 48 hours. But do a calculus and figure out how much you're going to lose every single day that listing is down, if they do take it down around Prime Day or just before Prime Day or during Prime Day, right? There's lots of emergency cases we end up working on, anti-competitive attacks, Amazon mistakes. It could be as simple as a technical issue. And it could be one of these, clearly they've got a bone to pick with price matching right now. We hear about it all the time from brand owners. So be prepared for that now. You've got some weeks to prepare for Prime Day. You've got a couple listings already flagged for this, and you don't want to lose revenue now, then, or anytime. So get an appeal ready to send that in. I mean, you don't even necessarily have to have us work on the first appeal right away, but make it very clear to Amazon they've got the wrong listing, the wrong price, they're confused. Show them screenshots, show them your pricing, how long you've priced the item at that level. Naturally, you might not be able to get into a huge argument with them if you are using different prices across different platforms. Trying to get into a price parity, price control argument with these teams right now probably isn't going to get you anywhere. If you think you really have a case with that and you want to put it in front of us, I'm happy to take a look at it. Most of the ones, I would say maybe 3 out of 4 of the ones we see are simply Amazon mistakes in the price matching, whether it's their automation system, how they're scraping pages, bot misfiring, or something else. Some listing logic that we don't quite understand, based on their proprietary tools. Either way, it's the same outcome. It's a mistake, and you have to appeal it as quickly as possible to make sure you're not going to lose the buy box, to make sure they're not going to keep pushing these generic messages back. We've seen a million of these already, unfortunately, where they just say, nope, we were right, you were wrong, you weren't doing the right price, we need you to fix it, and we got the quantity correct, or we had the correct item flagged. Anyone, even a child, can look at it and see that they're mistaken, right? But they're not willing to own up to it. And they're not good at accepting and acknowledging and fixing their own mistakes. Be that as it may, we can't expect that to change in the immediate future. We definitely don't know if that's going to be changing or improving or fixed in a better way on their side before Prime Day. So look alive out there. Keep your eyes on this stuff. Show it to us. If you need to escalate it, we always recommend that people who aren't familiar with the escalation process in terms of appeals or pushing higher quality appeal reviews, or if people are just kind of stuck on what the notion of escalations are, or if they're not used to sending appeals from the primary email on their account, definitely check in with us on that and make sure that you do some heavy duty strategizing early in that process, not after 3 or 4 or 5 weeks of revenue loss, because that's an unhappy place to be in. And it's not great for your account health, whether heading into Prime Day or just as a seller on Amazon in general. Questions on that, you can always reach out to me at e-commerce Chris, and have a great one. Let me know. Thanks for listening.